All right, what's up, college football fans, quarterback fans? Welcome to another QB Spotlight video. In this video, we're talking about Arkansas quarterback KJ Jefferson. We're going to do a little film breakdown, film deep dive of what has gone well for them and why things have struggled and what has struggled, right? So we're going to do a little deep dive and talk about what Arkansas and what KJ specifically needs to do against Ole Miss defense to pull off the upset right now. I know it's not a great feeling in Arkansas right now, but, I always put a positive spin on things. There's still a path to upset Ole Miss. So I want to look at a few clips of the season of things they've done well and what you need to do against Ole Miss, and then stuff you need to avoid, right? So we'll look at some good stuff and then some not so good stuff. If this is your first time tuning into the QB Spotlight channel, sincerely thank you for tuning in. We're just a big quarterback hub. We talk all things quarterbacks, and we do a lot of quarterback film breakdown. At least historically, we've done it. We've stopped doing that as of late, but I think we found a way to continue to do that and not have YouTube get mad at us. So we'll see what happens. But if you like quarterback content, college football content, we put out quarterback content weekly, live shows, previews, recaps, little breakdowns like this. So if you like that type of content, feel free to subscribe, like, and share all that fun YouTube stuff. So with that said, let's talk KJ. Before we get into the actual film, the stuff we want to look at it and talk about is one, what has worked, which is, you can argue, not much, right? And then two, where do you need to get better at? So I think from the offensive standpoint, I think there's plenty of blame to go around from top to bottom, right? Especially the game against A&M and even against BYU and LSU, you had some success in offense. It just didn't look like it was like scheming together, right? There wasn't a lot of rhythm, essentially. It was KJ making some plays with his legs and KJ being able to find a way to get rid of pressure or get by pressure to make some plays, I think. So with that said, if you're an offensive play caller or you're just from the outside looking in, there's blame to go all around. But it's up to the OC, it's up to the coaches in general, I think, to put players in position to succeed. Then it's up to the players to succeed and execute once they're put into that position, right? But I think you got to be put into a comfort level. You got to be put into a situation that plays to your strengths. And when you're not comfortable, when you're not in a situation that is maybe optimal for how you specifically play, then things tend to look out of whack, right? So with that said, we're gonna look at some film. We're gonna look at some KJ. I think it comes down to a few things. If he can play with anticipation, if he can continue to or find a way to be to consistently throw with anticipation, you got to get comfortable, right? A lot of factors go into throwing with anticipation, from the offense you run, from the camaraderie and the relationship you have and the feel you have with the receivers. That takes a lot of trust, right? But you got to find a way to do it somehow. Throw with anticipation, utilize some quick throws, get the ball out quick. Don't have a lot of slow developing plays. You're going to see in the film, there's a lot of slow developing plays. Receivers take a long time to separate, whether that's by design or whatever it may be. So I think you got to find ways to get the ball out quick and just slow down pressure somehow. That's going to help KJ not hold on the ball as long either whenever there is no pressure, right? And so we're going to go look at those clips and plays. Another thing is going to lead to I think more evenly distribution of the ball from inside numbers to outside numbers. So KJ has like 1,050-ish yards or so, give or take, of the season passing, and 322 of those yards are outside the numbers. The rest are inside the numbers. So over 700 something yards are between the numbers, right? So the defense only has, partial of the field they really have to worry about. Now, that's okay if you're having success doing that. Like the RPO scheme, a lot of times you live in the middle of the field unless you take a deep shot. So that's okay. But an offense like what they're running now, it's a bit different. You probably want to distribute the ball a bit more evenly throughout the field, right? Just an interesting stat to take away. Again, if it's working and you're having success, great, keep living in it. But if it's not, then a change probably has to be made. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the film. I'll pull up some film. Again, we're going to watch some good, some bad. We'll start with the good, right? The stuff that you need to do to have success. So these plays coming up now, I'll pause it. And these are just these are broadcast footage plays, so I do apologize. It's not the best quality. That's what we have to work with. But this is a great example of an anticipation throw. We're going to see a touchdown to the tight end Haas, right? Haas, I can't pronounce that. Pronounce it, number 9. That's a big loss that he's out. But it's a good anticipation throw. You see KJ's reading it. You have time in the pocket. You have good time in the pocket, and then we're going to see that he's reading that backer right there who goes in, boom, right? The backer goes in. He's reading that backer going in, and then he's also reading the DB, the top corner, taking the receiver. You have space right there. As the receiver, as the tight end is breaking, you can see the ball is about to come out. And then KJ does a good job there, right? So throwing with anticipation. That's a good ball. That's a good read. And that's something that I think you haven't seen a lot of this year so far. But the fact is the potential is still there. You just need to do it right. So plays like that against Ole Miss is what's going to be needed to win the game. I know Ole Miss gave up a ton of points against LSU, but Jay and Daniel has made some really, really good throws too that led to that. So I think some anticipation throws are going to have to made. All right, next clip. This is a little glance route, looks like a little RPO, kind of like at the Brawler system. But I think doing this is a good. Sorry, I got this here. I think doing these type of throws, having these type of plays that KJ is comfortable with, the offense is comfortable with, it one doesn't have to rely on the offensive line blocking so long. You can protect them, and two, gets the ball out quick. You got 7 guys in the box, right? 7 guys in the box. I'm sorry, 6 guys in the box. Boom, come in. Ball's out quick. There's no one in the middle of the field. That's a good decision. Good read there by KJ. He's comfortable. The ball comes out quick. This is one of only 4 passes completed behind the line of scrimmage against Texas A&M. You had 9 completions and 5 are behind the line of scrimmage. Just a crazy stat there, right? But I think more plays like this where the ball's out quick, where you're getting the defense out of position, especially against a loaded box. And I think there are only 6 guys in the box, but still it's a throwing matchup there with how deep the safety was. All right, another good passing play. This is against LSU. And this was a loaded box here. This was actually 7 in the box, like we can see up top. But we got 4 DBs, and he throws a touchdown to the receiver in the bottom of the screen. It's just a good example of finding a matchup you like, feel comfortable with it, and give your guy a chance, give your guy a shot, right? Like you do with Burke so many times a few years ago. Loaded box. It's man coverage, bottom of the screen. You like what you see. You see the top of the screen. He's off coverage. So, okay, don't like that. It's 2nd and 6, I believe. Ball comes out quick. There is some pressure. You can see he's throwing with pressure in his face still, but that's okay. As long as the ball gets out, give your guy a chance to make a play. Again, 4 guys, 4 DBs. Boom, boom, boom. How we get back? 4 DBs. 7 guys in the box. So this is a passing situation, especially if it's RPO. You check out of it and you get to a passing situation. Another good play, something you need to do, right? We'll watch a few more good plays before we get to some stuff that we need to maybe clean up. All right, KJ designed run coming up. We've seen some of this more and more, but getting him in a rhythm, like doing this early in the game, I think can be beneficial. One, can take stress off the offensive line, and then 2, it keeps the clock rolling so you don't give the ball back to Ole Miss, right? But then he's comfortable with it. He's good at it. It's part of his game. It's who he is. I think you need to utilize that. And I'm not saying you run him 20 times a game, but I think you need to utilize that. So here's the read here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DBs, 6 in the box. It's okay to run right here, especially you got blockers. You have 1 guy that is accounted for. So you got the defensive end that crashes on the running back. Then you got the linebacker that's one-on-one with KJ. But you can see the linebacker. Let's see. The linebacker gets out of position slightly because the DB, and then KJ is able to get upfield and make both guys miss. But he's one-on-one with the linebacker. That's his guy. So he accounts for, breaks the tackle, gets up for a first down there. So I think more plays like that, plays he's comfortable with. Okay, next play. This is just KJ being KJ here. Improvise and create. He did this a lot against LSU. The scheme wasn't necessarily different from BYU, LSU, and A&M, but he was able to improvise here and create. So we're going to see there's pressure. He holds on the ball a little bit. That's okay. There's pressure. He steps up in the pocket, escapes, eyes downfield, throws to his tight end, number 9, Has, right? Man, it still sucks that he got injured. He's a big loss. But anyways, throw to him, able to get a good touchdown there, right? So just to kind of recap the keys, I think, for success for KJ and for this offense is one, you got to throw with anticipation. In any offense you run, especially Enos's offense, you have to throw with anticipation, right? You have to be on the same page with the receivers. Ball gets up and then throw the ball out quick. I think that's, that can be a play calling thing. That can be a KJ thing. Again, there's plenty of blame to go all around from top to bottom, from receivers to offensive line to play calling. Plenty of blame, right? But get the ball out quick, get plays that you're comfortable with, and then having some design runs, and then KJ is going to have to improvise and beat KJ. Okay, so let's go on some stuff you got to clean up. And a lot of these sacks, so like KJ's had under pressure, he's been, let's see, I got it pulled up. According to PFF, 34% of his dropbacks, he's under pressure. He's had 54 dropbacks where he's under pressure. He's only completed 13 completions against 54 dropbacks. He's only had 25 attempts, so meaning he's getting sacked a bunch. He had 7, I think A&M had 7 sacks on him. but also there's not an option to get rid of the ball. Right now, regardless what that means, I don't know if it's receivers not getting open, if it's just not being comfortable, if there's really no option there, you're holding on the ball too long, probably a combination of factors. But the fact is, there's a ton of pressure, and you've only thrown, you've only had half the attempts as far as dropbacks that you had with pressure coming. So you got to find a way to get the ball out quick. So here's a 3rd and long, and there's several things going on here. This is KJ just kind of holding on to the ball too long. You got to avoid these 3rd and 24s. I don't know if you can see on the screen. I'm circling 3rd and 24. I don't know if it's showing up, but you got to avoid these 3rd and 24s. BYU only brings 3 essentially. Oh, well, they bring 3, and then they have the spy. Let's see if I can circle this. The linebacker in the middle of the field. They only bring 3. They have the spy for KJ. You have time. And then there's just no one there. Now, we don't have the full footage. We can't see our receivers not separating. Are their receivers not getting open? Like, why is he holding on the ball so long? It's 3rd and 24. So, 1, avoid 3rd and 24s. But 2, sometimes there's coverage sacks, maybe like this, or receivers not getting open, or just not being comfortable, right? So you got to avoid that. Here's a pick 6 against A&M. And here is, again, several things going on here that led to that pick 6, which we'll get into. But one, there's pressure right off the bat. We can see, boom, pressure right off the bat, pressure in his face. Also, receivers, no separation. Now, I'll take it with a grain of salt that the play just happened, but still there's no separation here. So even if the ball wasn't batted down, is it going to be a completion? Probably not, right? So not a lot of separation, pressure in your face, the ball gets batted down, leads to a pick 6, right? Okay, so here's another sack, 1st and 10. This is an example of literally just no time. You can see the offensive line just getting pushed back. But still, there's not a lot of options either here, right? You got it's a kind of like a slow developing play. You can see there's not a lot of space from the wide receivers right now. And again, the play just happened, right? So it's hard to create space if you're a receiver, like at the snap of the ball. But maybe it's a slow developing play. I don't know. It's a 1st and 10. You don't want this 1st and 10 to lead in 2nd and 18, which I think it did. And then play calm becomes tougher. You had a run play, and it was just a nightmare after that, right? But again, there's plenty of blame to go around. Receivers not creating space, play calling, whatever it might be, but the ball needs to just come out quick. So that's why I think like faster developing plays that happen quickly that aren't slow developing, I think can be beneficial for the Arkansas offense. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Okay, interception against BYU, and this is just pressure leading to the pick. So we're starting to see a common theme here. It's pressure, right? So if you're an offense, you have to design your game plan, your scheme around how you can slow down pressure or play around pressure. It's okay to have pressure as long as you have answers for it. That's the biggest thing, having answers for pressure. So here, I think you can kind of see, I circled the 2nd 18. We got 4 guys coming. BYU only brings 4, so they drop in 7 back. You have decent time to start off, then pressure comes in. Again, a long developing route. Now, we can't see the whole field, so again, take it with a grain of salt. But it's a long developing route. Pressure gets in the face. You can see right here, right as KJ throws it, it's an interception, a ball that probably just shouldn't have been thrown, right? There's nothing there. But you see all the receivers. You see I don't have the clicker right now, but the running back, there was a good check down route. You can see he was maybe open. This is like a 2nd and 18, actually. So again, a long down and distance that led to an interception there. So we got to avoid those long down distances. All right, last clip we'll watch. Interception. So here's this KJ. He's kind of like looking at where he's going to throw the entire time. Pressure comes. He does a good job in the pocket, like really good job in the pocket. But look, his eyes are downfield the whole time. If the ball comes out now, you have a shot, actually. If the ball comes out now and you throw middle of the field, you wait a little too long, right? Which is okay if you're not going to throw this route. But the safety comes out. The safety is coming down on the route as opposed to taking that deep post. I'll see if I can circle it here. Yeah, so he's looking straight. The safety's coming. If you throw this ball, it needs to be deep, or only the deep post route can catch it. But it's thrown to the dig route, and there's an interception right there by the DB for LSU. So again, I know I kind of just threw a lot, right? Just to kind of recap, I think the keys to success, how you have success against Ole Miss, how you pull up the upset, you got to avoid all these 4 or 5 plays that we just showed, right? You got to throw with anticipation. You got to get the ball out quick. And I think offensively, and just from a play calling standpoint, find positions for KJ and the offense to get into where they're comfortable, where they can be put in position to succeed. Again, I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Who knows who should have most of it? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts, Arkansas fans, what you think, and and where improvements need to be made. I know everywhere, right? Offensive line, play calling, receivers get open, KJ, like this everywhere. There's enough blame to go around, but we're always, more positive on this channel. So I still think there's time to get it fixed, but it's going to happen quickly against Ole Miss, right? And you have to avoid these 3rd and 20s, these 2nd and 18s. That leads to more sacks, right? And usually a sack led to that, right? So plays that don't take forever to develop. You can't have forever developing plays in this offense right now. You just don't have the protection or people that are comfortable and running the offense to have those long developing plays. So the ball's got to come out quick. You got to let KJ be KJ somehow, some way. KJ as of 2021, 2022 KJ, right? Again, just get him comfortable. I think if KJ gets comfortable, he still has the potential. Like, you still saw some good plays that he's done this year. It's just, it has to be repeatable. It has to be consistent. So again, I know it's what's the spread? I think last time I saw it was like 11, 12 point favorites for Ole Miss. So to pull up the upset, these keys have to happen. You have to avoid these disastrous plays. Essentially, you just can't repeat what you did against A&M. But again, we're always positive, and so we're always pulling for every quarterback to have success, right? But anyways, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what I was wrong about, what you agreed with, other stuff that's contributing to this. Again, it was just like 7 or 8 clips. There's way more game film this year than 7 or 8 clips, and it was broadcast footage, so we weren't able to get the full picture of things, but hopefully it was enough just to get a decent idea about it. But if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share. All that YouTube stuff really does help. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.